a director and a trustee on the table. Cammie was unable to make it, so she's excused, but we still have a quorum, so we should be good to go. Jill, you'll see up on the screen what's, there she is. So she'll attend remotely. We have 3 items in the agenda. Did everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? No issues, I assume? Okay. In the unfinished business, there are 3 items that we will address. Waiting with suspense till we get to that part, or I can tell you now. So you'll get it again for the
whenever we get to that.
When we get there, yeah.
Make it easier for Cam.
Yes, thank you, Amanda. And Amanda has been kind enough to do the minutes because Cameron, or this one, because Cameron can't make it. Okay. Any comments or questions on the agenda? Okay, move on to public comment. Is there any public comment? Okay, none. Next up is we get to bring in officially our newest trustee. So thank you, Nicole. So I think the way we do this is you and I do this together out loud.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say your name. I will allow you to fill that in with my name. So I, Nicole, well, I guess I have to say your name. I can't. It wouldn't make any sense.
So we say it at the same time?
No, you go repeat after me.
Okay.
You know, we've done it also. Nicole can just read it
All right, go
and
for
do
it.
it.
Okay.
All right.
I, Nicole Crisanda, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York. That I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee of the East Greenbush Community Library according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. You're officially in. Congratulations.
Sign
Your
away.
turn.
And
Yes.
sign away.
And then I will post my once you're.
Then the notary, that usually have a notary.
Yeah, Jill had said we don't need a notary if the
Yep.
president signs it. So I'm going
Next
with
month,
that.
I'm hoping to have a notary, so.
All right. But you're a notary?
Yeah, well,
Oh, all right, well, you know what?
Do you have your stamp with you?
You don't need to stand.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, we will double down on this, Charlie. So Nicole is officially in.
I think one of these ultimately gets submitted to the town.
Yes.
That's good, she's collecting. My signature is bad as mine.
So when I got married, I just lost all hope of trying to,
It's as bad as mine. That's great.
what's time for letters?
I made my husband add letters in his signature, like you can't just do that somebody's gonna copy that.
Mine degenerated over time, and a big part of it dates back to the 90s when I signed every paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm sorry.
You didn't have like a stamp?
No,
Okay, moving on.
I would come in and sign paychecks every 2 weeks.
Next up is our annual organizational paperwork. Everyone, when you came in, has the conflict of interest form, the code of ethics form. If you would be so kind as to read through those and sign them and return them to me, we will be good to go for another year. Ethical and we have no conflicts of interest.
Oh.
Okay, the updated calendar and final calendar result were sent out with the board packet. Hoping everyone had a chance to look at those. And if there were any conflicts, you would have sent them to us. At this point, I'll still ask if anyone had anything that they wanted to bring up regarding the calendar. Okay, so we'll consider that our official calendar, and all the committee meetings and the board meetings will follow that. And you'll note that there's a couple of things that were kind of off from what we typically do because of conflicts and school breaks and all that kind of stuff.
And in reality, it's not cast in concrete.
Right, if we have to,
If things happen, we adjust.
yes. When we have a quorum, we're always good. There's also the bank signature card, which the officers sign. The only one that is not here, and we'll get Tammy to sign it, is our secretary. So I will follow up with her. The board contact list was sent out electronically, and it has, thanks Charlie, it has everyone's name and information. So did everybody get that? And is everyone's information correct, I guess? Okay. Here are our annual organization and paperwork. The next up is our chair, or our committee appointments, as well as the chairperson. So Katie has accepted. I won't say requested, but she accepted the chairperson position for the administrative committee. So thank you, Katie. And there'll probably be some changes towards, mid-year anyway, and during budget, we'll figure out if that's a little overwhelming. For that committee, on that committee will be Katie, Cammie, and Michael. For the services committee, Amanda has agreed to chair that for us, so thank you, Amanda. And that will have Amanda, Charlie, and Nicole. So the times of those meetings, I think they're still the same, 5:30 and then 6:30 and 7, yeah.
Admin is the 7th.
Yes, the services is the earlier one, so. Just so everybody, if you switched committees, you'll know it might be at a different time this year. Any questions on that? Okay. Next, we have our minutes. Amanda.
I sent out the minutes, got some great feedback, and they all seem to be aligned with everything everybody said. And there was a lot of discussion last time, so I think I copied, well, I mostly took what Mary helped me with, so. And we got that, because I went verbatim and then Mary helped me put it together a little bit better. So, those are in the packet. Any questions, any concerns on any of it? If I represented you fairly? Okay. Because there was a lot, it wasn't contentious, but there was a lot of discussion. I want to make sure everyone was represented fairly. So, but those are the minutes. Okay.
So, any,
To approve.
okay, Michael?
We made no changes here today,
No,
so they're as submitted.
so we have a motion from Michael to approve the minutes of December 19th, 2023 library board meeting as presented. Do I have a second? Charlie will be our second. Charlie. Okay, so next up is our treasurer. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess we do. We do.
I know you want to skip right
I do. I want to
You'll
speed right
get
through
it.
this. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Everybody in favor? Okay, so anybody opposed? Six. Okay. Okay, so we have, it's unanimous for who's here.
You're beginning the list at Cammie excused. So you can, I think, say all.
Okay, I mean, I'm just gonna put the vote total anyway.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
And
then
then
I'll let her know she can put all if she wants to, because she's gonna vote.
However she wants to type it out.
And then just for what it's worth too, under the attendees, it would say that Cammie was excused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that.
All right, Katie. So for the treasurer's report, I have to correct something that I had said to you and ended up in your report. And I'll apologize right up front, but there was money that there was $126,586.51 that appeared, it appears as a surplus, which it really is not. So I was under the impression it was all going into reserves, and that is not the case. There's 100 of that goes into reserves per our budget last year. And then the 26 and some odd dollars, that's, gets used.
It's fund balance.
Yeah, it's fund balance that'll be used for, bills that didn't trickle in before the treasurer's report got done. So I apologize for that. All right, so go for it, Kate.
Okay, so we're in good financial standing. We are only 2.7% of the year complete. So when this was written, it was through January 10th. And then as a result of the meeting being canceled and rescheduled, some changes had to be made. And so I'm just gonna verbally let you know what those were. So the main thing that we need to take into consideration is now, the off warrant stands as it is stated on the report. And then the warrant is no longer the warrant, it's now considered off warrant number 2. So when we vote for the motions, it will be off warrant 1, which is the original off warrant 2 in lieu of the warrant. So the amounts are the same, it was just that those bills needed to be paid in a timely manner, so Dawn took care of that. Mary came in, I think, signed some checks, I signed some checks. So we're gonna remain in good financial standing, which was obviously the priority rather than honoring the report that became obsolete. So as far as the off warrant and off warrant 2, formerly known as the warrant, did anyone have any questions or concerns? Some more library furniture was purchased, which is exciting. Everything was pretty straightforward, a big chunk to Upper Hudson, but that's for Q1, so that takes care of all of the services that are listed. That was off warrant 2. In the initial off warrant, really everything that's pretty straightforward. And then finally, the end of year financials. So the fiscal year was closed out. The financials were reviewed. We collected 94.32% of the budgeted revenue. And you see what we spent here. Essentially, what I have been saying all year is that some areas were over budget where others yielded a savings. So in the end, the budget remained balanced. It just maybe was allocated than you had originally indicated. And then like Mary corrected on this last bullet, this was our net revenue, which wasn't truly a revenue, as we're using 100,000 for the capital reserves, which was a budgeted amount, and then the additional surplus is just rolling into the fund balance, like she said, so that we can take care of those expenses that didn't happen by year. So, any questions or comments?
I have one. You indicated the year was closed and it's closed out. The movement of the, and this probably Jill can probably answer this better. The movement of the 100,000 into the capital reserve fund. Does that go towards last year when we get last year's financial report?
I don't think so.
No, it'll, so on the P&L, yeah, on the balance sheet, no. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You recognize it?
I'm wondering what will it show in the public reports that we do?
Well, just like last year when we transferred all that money in May, it showed, and that will show in this year's audit. This transfer of 100,000 will show in next year's audit, so it's pretty.
So it'll be transferred in May, Jill?
No, we don't have to wait till May to transfer it. We'll talk about that at the admin committee meeting. Excuse me. And then we can make that, we should easily be able to make that $100,000 transfer. There's plenty of money to do that in there. That's what it was budgeted. So we just make that transfer.
Thank you.
Mm.
Okay, you ready for the motions?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first is the motion to accept the off warrant, which is the true off warrant in the amount of $138,646.07 for the period of December 13th through January 10th as presented.
For a second. Oh, we got a vote. All right, sorry. Okay, so
Any further discussion?
any further discussion?
Can I just point out real quickly that these are, they're still preliminary. So probably right after this meeting, we'll close everything out completely. And until the audit is done and everything, it's not considered 100% closed. Just a clarification there.
And the audit is anticipated to be finished by the end of February.
Yeah, they
Yes.
come in February 5th, a week of February 5th. They're coming in. So we still have, so for instance, the depreciation is still not on the balance sheet yet. That'll get on the
It's
balance sheet.
appropriate
So-
since we call it preliminary, right?
Right.
Yes.
So I just wanted to point that out. It's the motion is preliminary, and so just
Yeah,
so you know that
that's
it does change a little bit, but it's
that's the financial sort of preliminary.
yeah.
The-
Mhm.
So that was warrant number one that we just did.
So we just did warrant number one. Still need to vote.
Oh, that's fine.
Off warrant, I'm not, I'll mess you up, off warrant.
So all those in favor? Any opposed? Nope. Okay. Motion passes with 6. Off warrant number 2. In the motion to accept off warrant number 2 in the amount of $75,376.13 for the period of 12/13/2023 to 1/10/2024 as presented. Nicole, all right.
Get on.
All right. All in favor? Any opposed? None? Motion passes with 6. Okay, next up is the 2023 preliminary year-end financials. I'll entertain the motion to approve preliminary 2023 year-end financials with 100% of the year completed as presented. Is that accurate, 100% of the year? Yes.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know. I
yeah,
never do.
absolutely,
Maybe, and then Michael, your second.
sure.
All right, any further discussion on that? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. 6. And final financial motion. I'll entertain the motion to approve the January 10th, 2024 financials with 2.7% of the year complete as presented. Okay, can I have a second? Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? None. That's 6. Okay. Well, with everything, Amanda?
Yep. You got it.
You're caught up?
Just wanna make sure it's clear to Cammy what I'm saying. I know what my notes mean, but.
I know what your notes mean. We'll
That's
get
true.
this, yeah, we'll get it.
And I use initials when I type these up. Most of you guys don't see this, but when I type my notes, I put the initials. I hope like that she realizes that those are everybody's initials.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody has the same initials.
That's the good
We're
thing.
good, yes. Okay, next on the agenda is committee reports, but we did not have any committee meetings in January, so unless somebody has a report that they did without a meeting, I think we're good there. Now, Jill, I don't know, I know you can't talk. The next thing that's up is the director's report. I did want to make one comment. I'm sure everybody saw the 2023 accomplishments. I think that was amazing. And that's the major accomplishment. So I don't even know how all of that happened in 1 year, but it did. So congratulations to you and the staff and also to the board, because I think that was pretty good. We accomplished all that. It's a lot of work.
And board leadership.
And the board leadership, yes. We're missing our Lynn, yeah.
You think she's watching?
From afar, Michael. One thing I did want to mention, it's a little thing in the director's report. It has the MOU between Fogacle and the trustees. I think that should be the library. It's not between Fogacle and that's Friends, sorry. Friends and us, it's Friends in the library, so we don't sign that, but it's not a big deal. So Jill, would you prefer that I just see if anyone has questions on your report, or do you want to take a shot at speaking?
Yeah, actually, if anybody has any questions, I think I would really appreciate that. I'm happy to answer questions.
Does anyone have any questions on the
Big
Jill's
things.
report?
It was comprehensive.
Very, yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the highlights, the 8 highlights, it kind of tells you where to go for things in the report.
Mhm.
But overall, we're in, excuse me, good shape, and we have a lot of capital projects ahead of us.
Mhm.
So the MOU you're talking about under strategic planning and development.
It is under, I believe that is where it is.
Okay,
Yes, yep,
so it should say the library?
yes, instead of the trustees. Yep.
Okay.
MOUs between Friends and the library.
That's-
Yes. Who has any questions for Jill? And I'm sure she appreciates them. Okay,
Thanks,
thank you, Jill.
Yeah,
Go
one
ahead.
more thing, since the writing of the report, the wall has been closed up in the, excuse me, in the children's room.
I noticed that the other day when we were in there. He was very happy to see that there was more space
Yep.
again.
Yeah,
I
there
know-
was just one other facilities thing real quick, and then Amanda, actually, Amanda, go ahead, and then I'll tell
I was
you.
just wondering,
what was
the furniture, did Lansingburg end up needing any of it, or?
No, they didn't need any of it. Thank
Okay, I
you.
just wondered how that ended.
But I did offer, yeah, no, they have,
Okay.
no, they didn't need furniture.
Okay. It sounded like it was more like the soft stuff that kind of got wrecked at Lansingburg, so. But I figured it didn't hurt to check and
No.
see if
No.
we're trying to find a home for it somehow.
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea.
We just had just a quick thing this morning. I want to thank Michael and Paul and Selena and Dawn for all their work today on everything. This morning we had a leak in the boiler room. It's been repaired. We had 2 leaks in the air handler unit that were soldered, which led to a little flood, but there was no damage because it was all in the boiler room. But I did call Michael and he came right over as well. So just want to say thank you, and thanks to Selena for jumping in tonight, and Mary, of course, to get all this up and running so that I could attend remotely. Thank you, guys.
Do we know how to end this meeting and turn it off? Okay.
Yep. There's many
Or do we-
ways,
or do
many
we-
ways.
Or do we have to stay here till tomorrow?
No, we unplug everything, but yes, Selena showed me, it's pretty simple. I think I can do it. Okay, next on the agenda is personnel memorandum, and there isn't any, correct, Jill? We probably will have.
Correct, no personnel memorandum.
Okay.
We have those two folks starting next week, right? You can just nod.
Yeah, yes,
We
we
don't
had
have to
approved,
do-
we had,
approved them
yeah,
last month,
Yes.
so we're good on that.
yes,
Okay.
we are. We are. Okay, so next up is unfinished business.
That's something, that's three things.
Yes, so I wanted to, actually, I lied, there's four things because of happened today, I'm sorry. I told you I'd like to leave you in a little suspense. So the Skodak library contract formula, I just wanted to let everyone know that we're still in the same place that we were last month. I did send an email to Supervisor Peters requesting that he identify who would be his work group participants, and I have not heard back, so I'll likely give him a phone call, and if we still don't hear back, then I'll craft a letter with the proposal that we had come up with in terms of formula that we thought might be equitable and work for both of us. Is there any questions on that? The next thing I had was the fine-free report. We had talked about entertaining that this month, but I think we have to wait for UHLS to provide the figures. So the way Jill and I spoke about this, and we thought it would be best to get the fine-free report and provide it to the admin committee, and they can look at it and determine the impact that it's had on the budget, and also if it's impacted us positively in terms of what it was intended to do. And then we had a Betty Juno months back when we were doing the budget had asked about our facts policy. So at that point, maybe the admin committee can look at the facts policy as well and see if there's something we might want to entertain there, or if we want to adjust anything. The third thing I have is our planning and development meeting for the trustees. It was supposed to be tonight, as you know. So we thought the board meeting was a little more important than that. So we're trying to come up with another date, and this Wednesday is not going to work, and next Wednesday is not going to work. So I've asked Jenna to do one more poll, and I think what we'll do is just the date that where most of the people can attend, we'll do it. Because I feel that it needs to be done in February, because we need to come up with our priorities for the year and the budget that we're going to be getting into budget. And I just think we want to make sure that it's just going to take up too much. Get it out of the way, yeah. And then any questions on that? Okay. And then the fourth thing is the HHA and the building renovation proposal, and Michael is going to fill you in on this.
We are ready to begin phase one implementation from our building condition study. We've asked for a proposal. We did get one late last year from HHA for the architectural end of the work. They basically acting as the architects. They put together the documents we need to get pricing, and the pricing help us with evaluation and do all that stuff. And we have a proposal. It's $29,500, which to me looks reasonable for the scope of work that they're doing. and they've attached to it their conditions, standard conditions, and basically use the same one that you reviewed, Charlie, last time to make it easy. My proposal, or what I'd like to see done today, is that we as a board approve it subject to approval by the admin committee at the next admin meeting, which is in early February, rather than doing the normal. This way, if the admin committee feels it's comfortable, Jill can sign it and we can get started, because we really need to get started. So that's really what I'm looking for, is the board to approve it subject to the approval of the admin committee at the next meeting.
We would have a motion
A
then.
motion to approve.
Approve the HHA proposal for the phase 1 design and implementation work. The building condition survey, and subject to review and approval by the admin committee.
So, question for you. So what is it that the committee will need to approve?
Well, I think we pass it around, everybody look at it, Charlie should take a look at it. And go through the formality of looking at it. Right now, it's had very limited review. I've seen it, Jill's seen it, and it needs to, I think, go through our process, which the admin committee would normally do.
So the written proposal is
The
what
written
everybody,
proposal,
yes.
everybody will get that after this
The
meeting.
same as what we discussed in last year, right? Like the same. Like,
The scope of work is
It's
written
the
here
same.
for the phase 1, and is what we discussed last
Oh.
year. In a round, quick way, it includes stormwater drainage improvements on the other side of the building. We said we would put like a French drain type thing in there
Oh.
to get the water that comes off the roof. There's some landscaping that needs to be done related to that. And then the biggest part of it is the exterior finish of the building, pressure washing, and then a new surface coat on the exterior.
is that, when you say the exterior coat, is that the skin that we were?
The
talking
skin we
about?
were talking about, yeah.
Ethos.
Yes,
The
that's
ethos.
the word.
You guys got it now.
That's right. So if I'm gonna chair this committee, I'm gonna learn
That's right.
Exterior insulated finish system.
Ah.
Now, the brand names that everybody's familiar with, in the industry talks about it, Stowe and Drive. And the other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna fix the one window, at least the one window that we opened up and found some things that we fixed.
So,
And then also, sorry, finishing. It also includes the exterior canopy and sidewalk up front. And I think the canopy includes lighting at both canopies. And then it includes the tile work in here, which is basically cleaning out all of those joints and doing the joints in the tile. We're fixing loose tile, all the stuff. We're not getting rid of it. In the description, it says basically if you don't have enough tile to fix it, we will make a change after where the sliding doors are, the farther end, and fix them up and use that for fixing it, put something different there. But anyway, it includes that as well. Those are the.
So it's not like anything new that we didn't already know about.
It all was in that report as part of phase 1.
just for, if you would like, you can send out the proposal to all the trustees anyway.
Sure you can.
And then if you had any questions, you could send them to Katie, but it would have to be before the admin meeting, so you want to do it. Does that
Yeah.
seem?
I think that's
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll make sure that goes to everyone.
Before we move out of unfinished business, can you just list the four, because I know there was another that applied to admin, I just wanna start making notes, so I have the, look through and make a motion to, like, get a motion ready to approve the phase one. You just list the other, I know not all of them apply, but. some.
For
Your
the four
four, I
Oh, I'm
think,
sorry.
that
Okay, yeah,
unfinished
yeah.
business, 'cause
Sure,
there
yep.
were a couple that were headed towards admin.
yes, so the Skodak, and, East Greenbush contract formula, yeah, yes. And then we have the fine free report, that's going to go to admin. And then obviously the HHA as well.
What was the fourth item?
It was the planning and development
Ah,
meeting
okay,
that
yeah.
was taking forever to schedule. Does anyone else have any other unfinished?
She didn't do the actual motion or vote on that.
Okay,
Well, and one more thing, Katie, also, we have the reserves policy that we're still working on.
We just got, I just have the motion language down, I don't have.
okay,
The reserves policy
Okay, I'll make the motion.
and the transfer? Or does the reserves policy,
Both.
okay.
so those are different items, they don't
Yes,
coincide?
yes.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, so Michael made the motion, you have the, can you read it?
Yep, motion is to approve the HHA proposal for the phase one design and implementation work of the building condition survey and subject to review and approval by the admin.
So is it gonna be like
No, what basically what happens is we're approving that if the admin committee approves it at the admin committee, then basically it authorizes Jill to sign the thing and we can get started, yes.
Okay. So any further discussion on that? All in favor? Any opposed? None. So that motion passes. Let's see.
There is one more thing. We still have the other grant. I'll call it a grant from the state. That basically we've been told it's ours, but we need to follow up on that with a scope of work. We originally were hoping that we could use that in relation to this work as well. This one is covered by the library, what I'll call the library construction grant. And so we do need to come up with scope of work for that second grant and then start that process. I think that's $250,000.
Yeah,
And Jill, we just, when you're back, let's sit down and figure it out.
we are. Are we all set with that, Amanda? You good?
Yeah, I'm just finishing up.
All right, moving on to our liaison reports. Don't have anyone here from the Friends tonight. Don't have Jim McHugh, but we do have Ed Nestler, so.
Which I was here to introduce Jim McHugh and bring him on. Well,
Well, it's good to see you, yeah.
Yes, but it's never been easy.
See, you know, we can, if necessary, find a way to have you come all the time. We did that with Tom. See, we
You never leave.
That's right. Hotel
Not a problem at all.
You gotta know how the EFS thing's gonna work out.
What's going on in the town, Ed?
Not a lot. We got a new board member, obviously, actually two, Rick Manners and Jim McHugh. They've been through their first meeting. It's going pretty well. Start of the year, so there's really not a lot going on. Besides, he's got something more important to say.
Ooh,
Oh, thanks, Ed. Thank you.
we are done then?
I'm pretty much done.
Okay, thanks, Ed. Okay, moving on to Rensselaer County. Tom.
While we've been talking about the EFS, I've had a series of text messages with my colleagues and also in the county executive's office about the outside light. There's a discussion, one person actually raised, they didn't think the light was bright enough. So, we're gonna be grappling with that. Most of the people,
This sign that
the
we-
sign that you would, Amanda was
Oh,
just
the-
talking about, yeah. And,
Yes,
so we're gonna see what we can do with that.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a healthy discussion, we anticipate a healthy discussion on that. I'll report back, after the EFS thing, next month.
I'm very invested in this.
Yeah, I'm now invested in it too, because I didn't like the response that somebody felt that the light wasn't bright enough.
The person who thinks it's not bright enough probably looked at it when the sun was shining.
That's the point that the rest of us are starting to make.
Yeah.
But the person that thought it wasn't bright enough is an important person, so,
I think this important person should drive eastward or drive down.
Towards 9 and 20,
towards
yeah.
9 and 20 at 5:15.
Amanda, you've
and
got some
see-
support from the practical,
Because that's about the time I get home and that's.
yeah, that person's generally long gone from the county building at 5:15, so, we'll try and see what we can do for that. And just for the winter time, so we'll see how.
Right, like, it didn't bother, it was not a bother in the
Right.
summertime at all.
So you see what you've done, this is what government's working, you know, all the wheels of government are moving unfortunately in different directions on this. But we'll see what we can come up with. We had a tax cut, I got my tax bill, county tax bill, hopefully all of you have gotten it, it should have reflected not a sizable cut, but at least somewhat of a cut, we're going in the right direction. One of the reasons we can do that is the county is doing extremely well, continue doing extremely well with sales tax revenue. It has not slowed down at all, in fact, it's increased. That and the mortgage deduction tax, mortgage transfer tax. It's really, it's unbelievable. It's just,
Oh, well, yeah, prices have gone up.
yeah, and
What was that?
the mortgage transfer tax, yeah,
It's a deed, actually a deed transfer.
the transfer tax,
Okay.
Or there's also a mortgage recording tax.
that's it too, yeah. Mortgage recording tax, that's it, yeah. And the way it's explained to me, again, I was a political science major, we didn't have much math during my things with that. Is that when you would go to the gas pump and you'd see the gas prices going way up, that's really bringing in a lot of money for the county and the sales tax. So now that the gas prices are going down, we're gonna take a close look and see what happens with that, yeah. But it's, the county's doing very well, but we're budgeting conservatively because we don't know what the future's gonna bring. I think that really, budget too, prodigiously, I guess, would be a risk. Because the economy can kind of turn on a dime in the future. And I hope I covered one of the important bills, because the important thing was. What's that?
It's coming to town.
Oh, well, I thought that was, yeah, we can announce officially that there's gonna be a senior, nobody in this room would be interested in it right off the bat, but it's gonna be a senior citizen center gonna be located on the other end of town off of 9 and 20, near where the Paddock restaurant is, the Paddock bar, for those of you who have pizza and wings and beer. So in the old Kmart shopping center, kind of catty cornered towards Ridge Road, not catty cornered, towards Ridge Road. It's not gonna be as fancy or as opulent as the Troy Senior Center, but it'll be updated. The center used to be in the city of Rensselaer, and now it's just gonna go up the turnpike. So that's a nice thing for East Greenbush, we think as well. We hope it'll be well used. And again, once we get in there and everybody starts participating, if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please let us know, because it's a building that's got about 6,000 square feet in it. So we have room to kind of grow in there if need be, if services warrant that.
So is it the manor?
Right next to the
Right
manor
next
house,
to it,
yeah.
Where the old bakery used to be, or the OTB.
Yeah,
if I
they
remember.
did
Oh,
a church in
wow.
there for a while too.
Yep.
It's a nice spot. And the parking lot, for those of us who have been there recently, is much better than it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
For those who went to the manor house, the parking lot was kind of challenging when you come out of there. And now it's nicely paved, and part of the whole deal with it is the parking lot will be continue to be maintained efficiently. think that's it. Ed, you got anything you think? Covered it okay?
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you know anything about the Hold Harmless Act that Hopewell is proposing at this point?
Which one?
With school districts, no guarantee for the funding, the same funding as the previous year?
Yeah, she's got a hold on my stuff for that and also community colleges as well. Yeah, we'll see. It's gonna cost some money. It's gonna cost the school districts to some extent some money as well. So we talk with people in the Assembly and Senate, and they're having their budget staffs take a really close look at it because it doesn't seem, although it's got the nice phraseology about hold harmless, since costs are going up, it's gonna hold you harmless at a rate that's gonna be really not be workable in a couple of years in the future.
Right.
So it's, it's kind of laudatory, she's recognizing that there shouldn't be any cuts, but if you don't do any increase, it's gonna act like a cut. So,
Right.
but we're taking a look at that. Yeah, she's identified the phrase hold, the reason I asked you which one, she's identified the hold on harmless phrase in about 3 different separate entities now. And we all have the concerns for the same reason on each one of them, but they're better than proposing cuts. And I just think, just personally, just get on the soapbox a little bit, for when you're talking about, and I love the Buffalo Bills, but when you're talking about, having $875,000, $875 million going towards construction of a new stadium out in Buffalo, I think we have to do a little bit better than hold harmless for education. So,
Especially when the fans last night were there and said, we like our open
Yes.
stadium.
yeah.
It's
So-
not Buffalo if you have a dome.
Yeah.
No, come on.
Like, no.
You don't want their free
Minnesota hasn't won anything since they put in a dome. Come on.
Okay, yeah.
Tom, I have just a question. In terms of the county legislature, does the chairperson change annually?
No, not through the full 4-year term.
Okay,
Unless there's death or unless she becomes like a senator or something. Anything else? Okay. Charlie, anything else? Okay.
Jill, you have anything for Tom?
I have one for Ed, but we'll talk about it afterwards.
And for Upper Hudson, it's usually Cammie, and she's not here, so obviously there won't be any comments on that. I think.
Man, you did.
Just like a record breaker?
Yes.
I don't know.
Lynn is gonna be so proud
Oh,
that you are so
you're so
jealous.
jealous.
I mean, you got it under an
Wow.
hour. Well, but we didn't do it yet, so we gotta do it first.
Right, okay, so who would like to make the motion to adjourn our meeting? Nicole.
Nicole.
Okay.
Oh.
She snuck right in on you.
No.
This is not good.
That's not a good thing. That's your 30th, the first meeting. You're the one who motions to end the meeting.
And how about, who wants to be, Charlie is our second, okay? All in favor?
Nice.
Any opposed? None? Okay, everyone, thank you.
We're gonna get out of here before they lock up.
Well done. Mary, are you gonna end the meeting?
I'm gonna end it, yeah, so are you gonna end it or?
So you'll need to end it on your end.
Okay, I will do that.
Hey, Jill, what's happening? What's going
I
on?
can walk you through it if you want.
I think,
Let's see.
I'm just gonna press end and then,
Yeah, you're just gonna press end. I'm co-host, but for some reason it won't let me end the meeting with a stream.
Get better soon, Jill.